Hey, y'all, there's Distaggio here. I'm not sure why I spent the first episode of Drunk Hearthstone planning, disenchanting, and how to build cards. But in the second episode, I'm actually going to play, because it seems like that might make sense more than anything. Anyways, you can have this many decks going on right now. I got mid-face and I got a dirt bow. So I got a mid-face and I got a dirt bow. I got two hunter decks. Why am I using a hunter? Well, there's a few reasons. Let me explain a couple things here first. Let me just talk you through. Let me talk you through some strategy. Okay. Hearthstone is basically paper, rock, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Does where you live determine what order you say that in? Like when you say I want to play rock, paper, scissors, or do you say scissors, paper, rock, or do you say paper, rock, scissors? What do you say? How do you call it? What's order? Like, is this a regional thing? Is it a country thing? Or do some people not have no idea what I'm talking about? Well, if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, and I'm going to say at least 90% of you understand what I'm saying here, rock, paper, scissors is pretty simple. Rock always beats scissors. Scissors always beats paper, and paper always beats rock. It's as simple as rock, paper, scissors. This game is as simple as rock, paper, scissors. So let me just transfer those terms around for a second. Aggro beats control, which beats mid-range, which beats aggro. Let me transfer those terms. Decks that smash you in the face fast tend to be control decks, which take a long time to sort of control the situation. The control-y the situation type decks, the sort of the smart thinking man's decks, tend to always beat the mid-range decks. Sort of the not quite aggro and not quite control decks. Occasionally, though, some control decks are geared more towards always beating those aggro decks. And so basically, what I'm talking about is more clearly defined in one word, called meta. M-E-T-A, meta. Meta is essentially the meta game. The meta is essentially at a given moment, if I were to enter into ranked play, trying to achieve legendary status, the meta is simply this. What decks are currently in the population of all decks? They will really be broken into a couple different decks. Is it a super aggro environment, meaning is it a bunch of weenie in your face decks, or is the majority of decks control-y decks? You know, so basically to control the meta, what you want to do is always build a deck and play a deck that beats the majority of other decks present in the meta. That is meta game strategy. M-E-T-A game strategy. Meta game strategy. That is your goal. You can never build one deck to be the best. There is no best deck. There's no best because the meta changes. The presence of other decks at any given time constantly changes. It changes when expansion comes out. It just changes based on random events, just on more players playing this versus that. It just constantly changes. And so you can't ever have the best deck. So what deck should you build first? And I would say you probably build a deck like this. This is like a mid-range hunter deck. It's not. Now, a lot of people thought that maybe this was a straight to the face hunter deck, a pure aggro. It is. So when you have a lot of your deck has low casting cost cards. So if you actually hover your mouse over the deck name here called mid-face, you can see the presence, sort of the casting cost of my cards in my deck. I have a lot of 2 casting cost cards. 13 of my cards in my deck are 2 casting costs. 4 of them are 1. 8 of them are 3, and then I got some others there on the other side that are higher. And that means by default, I mean pretty much by default, that this is meant to be a pretty fast playing deck. It doesn't really have a real powerful late game, right? It's got a really powerful beginning and middle game. Mid-range game. It has a powerful mid-range, middle of the game. That's why it's called mid-range. It's a mid-range. It works best in the beginning to middle of the game. That's why it's called a mid-game deck. Face. What's the face mean? Well, it also goes straight to the face. It attacks the other person. You basically ignore everything else going on and just try to kill the opponent. All of these terms basically come from Magic the Gathering, to be totally and completely honest with you. This game actually, in a way, ripped the high-level strategy of Magic the Gathering, and it just made it easier to play, and you can do cooler mechanics since it's a pure computer game or application-based game versus a card game. So, I mean, it is a card game, it's just an application-based card game. So, anyways, I got a lot of weenie cards, what I like to call weenie cards, 1 or 2 casting cost cards, and I got some tougher cards, and I got some bigger cards. Seriously, that sums up Hunter. Someone posted a comment on one of my last videos, says, I can't believe you're playing Hunter. It's the simplest deck to play. It's completely stupid and super cheap and dirty. I'm like, whoa, dude. What you're saying is it's dirty? Are you saying it's dirty? Kaboom. Score. That's what I'm going for here. It uses cards that are super dirty. I've gotten wins on this where it's like it should not have been a win. I'm not even going to really go over that. That's all you really need to know, guys. It's just a super fast deck. It's super easy to play. It can't get you super far in the ladder board. What am I even talking about? You don't even know what a ladder board is, some of you. But let's go to play, and there's 2 methods of playing when you want to go against an opponent. To complete quests, your daily quests that I talked about in the prior video, you have to play in casual or ranked play mode. This is where it matches you randomly against another opponent. If you have a friends list and you have people as your friend, right here, Misery and Asmodon, and Misery, what that means is, if I just were to play them by challenging them to a battle, that does not complete quests. So what I want to do is I want to pick my deck over here and I want to play ranked play. See how you stack up against other players. You're ranking. You're going from a low level rank all the way up to rank 1, and then you hit legendary status if you beat rank 1. And that's what I'm going for. But I only have a few days left of the season. Every season is 1 month. Unless they change that. I think it's every 1 month. And I won't achieve it this season. Highest rank I've actually ever gotten is about rank 5. On the ladder, you're going from 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, beat rank 1, and then you go to legend. And then there's and then once you hit legend, you can't ever fall below legend again. You never fall back into the ladder boards, as they call it, which is where I'm at now. I'm basically in the dirty gladiator pits right now. And what you want to do when you mulligan here, so at the beginning of the game, if you don't want any of these cards, you can toss them back. Basically, I don't want Savannah Highmane right now. I don't want him in my starting hand because he costs 6. I won't be able to cast him until 6 turns. So that is the perfect draw against a pretty good draw against the Priest deck. Let me just explain here. I don't have a very strong turn 1, but I do have the coins, so I can come out with a Mad Scientist first. But whenever I see this dude, I really want to get rid of that cleric, because this cleric can cause him to draw tons and tons and tons of cards. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do that with my Mad Scientist and do some trickery here. But every time it gets healed, you draw a card. So it does that. So it attacks and then heals, attacks, and it's so annoying. I hate that card so much. I hate that. You gotta kill North. You have to kill the sexy bitch right away, guys. You see her, she has to die. It doesn't matter what deck you're playing. I'm playing an aggro, pretty much hit your face deck. I see her, I stop hitting the face immediately. You gotta get rid of that card. And they'll just attack, heal, da, da, da. And they'll draw like 7 cards off that, and you're done. Card advantage. Boom, you need it. You need card advantage. And on this turn here, it's basically Animal Companion. It's one of the Hunter's best cards. It doesn't even cost you anything. It's free. And just summons a random Animal Companion, 1 of 3 types. And here's an excellent one to get. Misha Taunt, 4/4 Taunt for 3 cost. That is just ridiculous, to be completely and totally honest with you. A 4/4 Taunt for 3 mana cost. I mean, of course, it is random. I could have gotten a couple other different minions. I always call them creatures because that's what it is in Magic the Gathering. And I'm a big Magic. Oh, look at that. Another Animal Companion. That's awesome. 4/3. Now, Piloted Shredder. Death Rattle, summon a minion. That is a card I do not need to go to my face with. That's a card I don't need to worry about. I'm just going to call you coming straight to the face. Now, people say play Hunter because you're dumb. In a way, that's partially true. So it, I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty dumb. I'm gonna make him attack me, okay? Here's the thing. So I have Freezing Trap up. Freezing Trap is this common. It's when it attacks you, return it to your hand, and it costs you 2 more to bring that sucker out again. Um, I talk about this in Castle Clash too about momentum. I mean, I have absolutely crushed his momentum right now. Absolutely crushed it. Now that is why you play Lotheb. Now you see this crazy board and you're like, whoa, dude, what is that? That's a legendary. However, this legendary is essentially free when you purchase the Naxxramas expansion. It's one of the rewards for beating through a wing of Naxxramas. And it's a momentum card. Enemy spells, look at the description here. I don't want it to attack. I just want to say something here. Jeez. All these rules. Enemy spells cost 5 more next turn. Spells cost 5 more next turn. If he had something he wanted to do, which cost mana, let's say 6 mana, it would now cost him 11 mana. So it's a momentum buffer. And so I'm coming straight to the face next turn. Didn't matter. It pretty much didn't matter what he did there. My result would be the same. Now, if you just kind of add this up, this is almost a win. If you just go like this. And actually, if I get a certain animal companion here, I could get the win. Oh, nope, I didn't get it. I kind of overplayed there. But there is a random here that you can get that adds a +1 to all of your attacks. +1/+1 to all of your minions. That would have given me the win there because that would have attacked for 4 more damage. Because each one of these minions would have been attacking for 1 more. So, I mean, right now you can see here, I'm never going to complain that I draw Animal Companion because I got 3 casting cost 4 taunt. I mean, there's not much better than that for 3 casting cost. You know what I'm saying? Oh, see forfeit. Because it's Face Hunter. I mean, that's what you do. If you don't control the board quickly on them, then you're dead. That's just how I won't call it Face Hunter because it's technically a mid-range hunter. But you can see there I earned 40 gold, earn 60 more. In my case, if I earn 10 more, then I'm going to get to the next pack. I can purchase a pack, and then again, disenchant it all. Let's just say disenchant it all, earn some dust, and then build, create, craft, if you will, craft the cards I need to build the deck I want. And I recommend you to build my hunter deck. Normally I screenshot and then put the deck list over here in the left or right column. You'll see other YouTube Hearthstone folks do that. But hey, I guess I'll just do that in a future video. Rexar versus Rexar. So this is an interesting one. I got a very fast start here. I'm not changing anything about this. This is basically the perfect draw against any deck. It's in terms of playing Hunter, it might not be the best against Hunter because it's sort of aggro versus aggro. Maybe you want a little bit more controlly. But I mean, I'll take this. And in terms of what he's going to do here, I want to try to get momentum. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. And I think it's probably to bring a Haunted Creeper, kill that, and then I'll still have a little bit of board presence for the following turn. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, this card I'm playing right here, Haunted Creeper, common card, very easy to craft. Every card here, in my hand even, is common. There's not a lot of rares or epics that you need to build this deck. Honestly, it's 1,000 dust, max. Plus, you would need Naxxramas to get Lotheb. If you don't have Naxxramas, you can still build a good deck. Okay, so you know how I just in the last video I talked to you about Northshire Cleric? You got to kill that card the second that you see it. The same exact thing is true of Knife Juggler. If you see Knife Juggler, you simply have to crush it. And the only way that I can do that is to use my Abusive Sergeant, which gains 2 attack when it comes into play, and then I have to attack it. There's no other choice for me this turn. That is absolutely positively what you must do. There are so many cards in Hunters where you can summon like 5 creatures in one turn. It's very easy to do that with just combination, couple cards. A Knife Juggler is, if you know, let me go back here. Can I see that? So Knife Juggler's ability is that when you summon a minion, he deals 1 damage to a random enemy. So if he were to summon Knife Juggler and then 3/1/1s, there's a card in your Hunter deck that summons 3/1/1s, or let's just say 3/1/1s. It's then that Knife Juggler would shoot his knives out, and he could basically wipe my whole board. So obviously, I have to take care of business. Now there's a couple alternative plays here, but I could have just. I think I did the right one though. I think I'm good. I'm good with that decision. And again, we're trying to maintain momentum here. So right now we have board presence, but I wouldn't say that we have momentum. It really depends on this turn. It depends on what he does here. If he lays out a big taunt or animal companion or maybe even a weapon, he probably would be equal in terms of momentum here. Now Glaive Zuka, I have 2 of in my deck as well. That's a 2/2. It attacks for 2 and can attack twice. Normally you play that when you have a minion out, so that was a weak play. However, I am at 20. See, here's my Glaive Zuka here. So let me do it 2/2. I'll do my Glaive Zuka now. What the benefit of Glaive Zuka is that it gives a random minion +1 attack, and it looks like it gave my Abusive Sergeant. How funny is that? And then I'm going to bring in a Mad Scientist, and then I'm going to go to the face, because I'm at a point in time now where I'm getting close to kill condition. I got 3, 5, 6, 8 damage on the board plus Glaive Zuka, 10 damage on the board. I can draw into something that can get me the next 3. Plus my hero ability is 2, so I really have 12 damage on the board right now. He has got to do something to me or it's over. He cannot come to my face anymore. He has to, absolutely has to, take care of my board presence. There's no other thing he can do at this point. And now here's the thing is, if I take, so when you have a weapon equipped, you can either attack, you can attack a minion, so I could attack this minion, or I could attack the face, or I could do nothing. I don't really want to kill his Haunted Creeper. Why? Because it gives him the momentum back, because it would be replaced with 2 of these Spectral Spiders, right? So that's not what I want to do. I want to keep coming to his face here, okay? And that's exactly what he doesn't want me to do. And then I want to put out, there's a couple choices here, so I can continue to try to maintain the Creeper presence and also put out a Freezing Trap. That's probably the best play. God, I really wanted to get that Piloted Shredder out there. Again, another common that's a forecasting cost 4/3, and when he dies, he just summons a random 2-cost minion. It can even be a legendary minion. It's pretty cool. So he's going to attack. Now, here's what I was saying. See, that's why it was the right play. Freezing Trap is when he attacks me, that hero goes back to his hand. It just crushes his momentum. There was absolutely nothing he could do. It's game over. I took the momentum from him, and it's just, I can't tell you that I played that any better than him. I just got a really lucky opening draw. Super strong and fast and furious attack. All commons. I mean, let's look at this deck. Now that you kind of understand what I'm going for here, you kind of understand a little bit of the basics. You can see here I've won. So I've played 53 wins in ranked mode with the Hunter hero, and I think my number 2 is going to be Shaman. Okay. 87 rank play wins, and then my number let's see, probably Mage 28, not many. Warlock 68, so you can see I play that a lot. Yeah, I really don't play Priest or anything else, or Shaman. I do play Warrior a little bit, 24, but let's go back a little bit here and go to my collection. Let me just show you something here. Let me just show you this deck. I'm just going to go through it now that you kind of understand the game flow. You can see, I just want to show you the cost of the deck. So I'm just going to count commons here. So 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12. Okay, so this is a rare. I was going to say 12 commons, 13, 14, 15. These are free. 17, 18. So 18 commons, okay? 18 commons. In terms of the rares, that'll be 2 rares here on Knife Juggler. Here's one Arcane Golem, but you can substitute this for a free Wolf Rider, okay? These two are essentially achieving the same purpose. They're a charge minion. So you would not need Arcane Golem. You could go with 2 Wolf Riders. So I'm not going to count that to be. I'm just going to count 2 Knife Jugglers so far. Okay? And I'm just testing that anyways. You got Loetheb. Okay? So Loetheb is a legendary. You need Naxxramas expansion to get that. So all legendaries, if you were to craft them, are over 1,000, 1,600 dust. So, but you can't really count that because you get it for free. You get that legend for free when you purchase the expansion. If you know, I guess it doesn't mean it's free. So there's 4 rares and 1 legendary. Now, if you did not have Loetheb, I mean, probably what I would do is grab a free Houndmaster. Battlecry, give a friendly beast +2/+2 and taunt. I would probably do that. And if you're cool like me, you have 2 gold Houndmasters. No. So that's what I would do. If I didn't do that, I would maybe do King and Beast, but we don't have a lot of beasts in our deck. Another one, Tundra Rhino, but you could also pretty easily, you could come over here in the comments. We want to be something kind of higher casting cost because we want to kind of fill out that part of the curve. You could even do a Sludge Belcher. Are those rare? I don't know. Those are rare. But that's kind of bringing it back to a control-y type deck. So, I mean, that's to your discretion. But, I mean, for me, just to keep it simple, because I know I'm going to get asked this, what should I add if I don't have Naxxramas? Well, if you don't have Naxxramas, you might not have a couple of these other cards too, right? I want to say this one, but maybe I think you can craft those. But, anyways, yeah, I would probably go Houndmaster. I mean, if you put my feet to the fire, that's what I would recommend. So that is how this deck works. Savannah Hyman, again, to craft a rare, it costs 100 dust. Okay. So to build a deck with that many commons and rares, and to craft a common, it only takes 40 dust. So you add all that up, and it's like under 1,000. Boom, done. And you got a deck that can take it a rank, maybe single digits. Maybe between like rank 6 to 10, somewhere in that range. Then you're going to have to probably switch to the new meta. Once you get higher up on that ladder, you get to the new meta. What do you get for being in the ladder? I guess not really anything. You get coolness. That's what you get. As always, keep it dirty and dirty up.